Hello everyone and welcome back to the Magical Memories with Maddie podcast. I am sorry I did not do an episode last week, but I was at my grandma's and I just did not think to record an episode or do anything, but I am back and I'm doing a video episode again. I would like to continue to do video episodes because I think that they're very fun and helpful to me for posting onto my social for you guys. So I have a little sheet here that I'm gonna occasionally glance at with my little guide to what I'm talking about today. If you've read the title, you already know. Today I'm talking about the Disney Cruise Line. The reason why today I've decided to talk about Disney Cruise Line is because I've yet to talk about it, obviously, on the podcast. I've been on a Disney cruise and I need to talk about it while it's fresh in my brain. So I have this little guide here just as because I made this a general guide to most Disney cruises are going to feature these things. This is not going to be all about my personal experience. I'm just going to talk about my personal experience within the general basics because even though all the ships are different, they offer different things. They are relatively similar in a lot of aspects, and these are going to be those aspects that you need to know all about. So the first one is Wi-Fi. So the first day, the Wi-Fi was like free. I think it was for only until we like left port, but it might have been after, I don't know. But the Wi-Fi was free. I remember being on FaceTime before we even left. And we, when you go to get on your Disney ship, you go to your port. We were porting out of Miami on my cruise, and you check in, they take your bags, they check your bags to bring them to your room. So if you need anything, like before your room is ready at 4 p.m., you will need to have that in a carry-on bag you can bring with you. So if you're flying in, my recommendation if you're flying to your port is to fly in the day before so that you're there and you don't have to worry about that because you never know what's going to happen, and you'd rather if your flight was delayed that you still had time to get to your cruise, because if you miss your cruise, that's a lot of money. So if you're flying, and we did it the night before, so we flew in the night before and the next day we went to our port and we were porting in Miami, and they check your bags. So we of course put stuff in our smaller bags that we carry on with us that we might have carried on the plane that we would not have put in our suitcase when flying, because they'll let you carry it on, but they won't let you fly with it. It's the whole thing. Mainly it was just like we knew we were going to the pool decks, so we brought stuff for going to the pool deck because then we didn't want to be like without anything. They have towels on the pool deck on all the Disney cruises, I believe. They should, at least, so you don't have to worry about towels, but like your bathing suit, sunscreen, like other necessities, you can buy these things, yes, on the Disney cruises, but the gift shops do not open until you are sailing. The gift shops on board Disney cruises are not open when you are at port. You cannot buy stuff from those gift shops when you're at port, only when you're sailing. So if you are out of sunscreen, best of luck to you. So yeah, Wi-Fi is a very big thing on the ship, and a lot of people like to buy Wi-Fi for their voyage. Now there's different tiers of Wi-Fi, if I'm not mistaken, like tiers of like where you can just to post to social media, to watch videos, I did not personally buy any Wi-Fi because I'm not spending an absurd amount of money on Wi-Fi. But you can buy Wi-Fi for the day. My favorite Instagrammer of Disney travel lately is Bethany Vinton, because she's always there for food travel, and she's done 2 Disney cruises back to back, and she bought Wi-Fi one day. I don't remember what she said was the price, but I will try to go check her highlights and let you know somewhere down here on the screen what her price was for the one day. And she was using it all day and it was really working great until like later in the day when everybody was back on doing the Wi-Fi stuff in the evening. So Wi-Fi can be hit or miss. I didn't buy any Wi-Fi. I think one of my roommate did though, because she needed it for something and she probably paid a decent amount of money. So I'm not going to buy the Wi-Fi, but you could probably buy it for your entire voyage. I'm not really sure the semantics of buying the Wi-Fi on board, but I think the first day it was kind of relatively free. But if you are on board and you do want to just check out the app, you can. All you have to do is turn your phone on airplane mode and connect to the Wi-Fi on the ship and just use the Disney Cruise Line app, and you are not using your Wi-Fi. It won't let you anyway, unless you pay for it. Like, it'll pop up and it'll, you know, like, it's not gonna let you use it. But you can use the Disney Cruise Line app, and it is a must because you will be using the Disney Cruise Line app all the time to check the schedules. If you have any excursions booked, it will tell you. The Disney Cruise Line is really great about excursions where they have you a designated place that you meet, and then they walk you out to where you're going to go do your excursion. They're super great, super easy. I've never been on any other cruise line to know how excursions work, but I feel like this is very great how simplistic they make it for the Disney Cruise Line. You can do a variety of excursions based off of where you port. We ported in Nassau, and we did a scuba diving, not scuba diving, what's it called? Snorkeling. We did a snorkeling excursion where we like got on a boat and we rode out and we did snorkeling for like a good hour and we got back on, and it takes you right back to the ship. So this is a great time to decide if you're going to go to Nassau or if you're going to go on the ship. I refused to pay for any more food when I got all of my food for free on the ship, so I went back on the ship and I didn't go out to Nassau because I didn't want to go by myself because I had never been there before and trying to find them because I did not know my international coverage for this trip. I'd planned on being on airplane mode only the entire trip, so I had no way of contacting the other people I was on the cruise with to let them know or ask them where they were to figure out how to get there. So I just went back on the ship and I stayed on the ship, and I liked staying on the ship and doing fun things on the ship. There's lots of fun activities to do on the ship. But yeah, I love the excursions opportunities and how easy that is, and I love all the activities on the ship. So I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the activities. I don't even have it on my note, but I think I talked about it in my little blog post that you guys can also read if you want to. You can go check it out, linked below. The activities can be really fun. So most of them are family friendly, but there are some adult only options, and I appreciate that because A, they're also like after kids, most kids are in bed, but B, sometimes you don't want kids around. And you're on a Disney cruise, so you know it's family friendly, it's oriented towards families, it's gonna be family related, but it's nice that they offer adult stuff because I feel like the Disney cruise is more of a family cruise. I had fun, but every other person who went on this cruise, this was a travel agent fam trip that we did. And it was all travel agents on this cruise. They did not enjoy it as much as I did. They definitely thought it was more like if you're going with little kids, it's great, but if you're not, it's not as fun. But they also didn't really discover the adult entertainment until like the last night. How I would go out like after dinner to these clubs and they had like adult stuff like silent disco or whatever. I don't think they realized that they did that because they wanted to go to bed because we had the second dinner, the late dinner, and with our late dinner being so late, and then they make you take like 2 hours to eat. It takes you like 2 hours to eat dinner. It's absolutely ridiculous. How long it takes to do all the courses and stuff. Like, I don't know how people get like in and out of there. Like you can't. And so because of how long it takes to get through dinner, like they don't want to go out, they want to go to bed because they're much older than I am. I'm not trying to be hating on that. That's just the way they are. And that's totally fine. And that's great, but you know, you're not going to think it's very adult friendly if you're not participating in as much of the adult stuff. But there also isn't as much adult stuff as there should be, and that was something they said too, is like there were things that they did fine and they tried to do, but there's not as much adult friendly oriented stuff on the Disney cruise. And that's just how things are going to be because it's a family friendly cruise line. But it's not to say that there's not fun that you can do. There are great activities though. I participated in some trivia. I didn't do any swimming on the day at sea. I went all around the ship doing other things, and I was constantly doing other things, and it was really fun. So some of the other things you could do on the ship, there's a movie theater. They play new Disney movies at the movie theaters on board. When I went, it was back in 2022 in like August. So the movies on board were like Zombies 3 and I think Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. I think maybe Thor Love and Thunder. Like these were, yeah. Sometimes they get new movies like before they hit theaters or whatever. But yeah, you basically get to watch Disney movies on board. Like that are newer in the movie theater, and then they're playing Disney movies all day on the pool deck that you can watch. There's other great things on the ship, of course, like I said, though. They have a little basketball area, they have a mini golf course, they have more sports stuff in a sports area that you have to pay for, but I wasn't paying for anything, so I didn't do that. But there's like, I think it's like VR or something. There's kids clubs that I'll talk about in a minute. Lots of great fun things to do on board the ship, though. You do not have to worry about going to port if you don't want to. You can stay on the ship because anything you do at port isn't included in your cruise anyway. It's not included in your price. You have to pay for anything you do at port. So it's completely up to you. I chose to stay on board because I spent $60 for our excursion that day, and that was enough spending for me for one day because I know how I am. And I also knew that I had probably a limited amount of money as well. Like, I knew I had a budget there, so I was trying to stay within my reins. And that was one of the few things that I budgeted extra for. So, yeah, lots of great things on the ship. Like I said, there are kids clubs. So there's like 4 kids clubs, but they're kid and teen clubs. So they have 2 for ages 3 to 12, and those are the Oceaneer Club and the Oceaneer Lab. And these have fun activities for the kids. So this is basically an option for you if you want to go do something as an adult, like that's only for adults that you can't do with your kid. I don't know the hours of these. I don't know how it works. I know nothing about how these kids club works. I'm sorry. I have no information to give you. You can do lots of research. I'll do the research for you if you book a cruise with me, which, shameless plug, I'm a travel agent. You can come book a vacation with me on a Disney Cruise Line. I've done some research on the kids clubs, but as an adult, they wouldn't let me in without a kid. So that's fun. And you can't really do research of what the kids club is actually like if you can't go into the kids club. And that's the part that I don't really know. I'm sure I could find the rest out online. You know, you sign up your kid in advance and you go sign them in whenever you want them to be in the club. I watch this amazing family on YouTube all the time here. They are the Braun family, Jessica and Tyler Braun. I love them. I've loved their vlogs since before they even had kids. I've been watching their Disney vlogs for years. And they went on a Disney cruise, and they have a young daughter who's a baby who is an infant, and they have an older daughter who's able to go to the kids club. And they were doing an adult exclusive dining, which I'll talk about later. And they took their kid, they signed in their kid to the kids club so they could go to their adult dining. And they also paid for the nursery, because they have a nursery on board for kids under the age of 3, where you have to pay for it, but they will watch your kid for you, so you could go do exclusive things, like the adult exclusive dining. I have not done adult exclusive dining. I know nothing about adult exclusive dining, but I'm sure there are lots of great people out there that will tell you about it. They could tell you about it if you go watch their vlog. Bethany Vinton, I know, did some adult exclusive dining, and she said there's different options for it too. You could do where you pay for the prefix and everything's like included in the price. You get so many meals. You could pay per whatever entree or whatever. So it's fun. It's different stuff. They have Palo and they have Remy and they have adult exclusive dining, and it's spectacular and it's amazing. And I love that they have adult exclusive options, but why do they cost money? Like, I want some free stuff. But there are some fun things that you can do, like I said, activity-wise on the ship. And there's also fun things you can buy. When it comes to your Disney cruise, you get a room key. And your room key is basically like Disney or Magic Band. It's like a Magic Band, it's your guide to everything. Now, I think the Wish does Disney bands. It's the same thing as a Magic Band, you guys. And I think eventually all of them will be on, like the new Disney Treasure, I think will be doing it too, the Disney bands. I think eventually all of them will be on the Disney bands. But for now, I think they're just still on the room keys, the older ships. I did the Disney Dream. There was a room key. You can put your room key in like a little slot in the room to turn on the lights in the room. That was the most frustrating thing to me, but I did see somebody's tip when I watched a vlog that you can put any card in there. So if you had a card you didn't care as much about, maybe put that in there. So you can always have your light turned on whenever you want them to be. Up to you. We just used our room keys because they're already probably in our hand because we scanned right into our room, put it right in, turn on the light. Because that, like, literally you have to even to turn on the lights in the bathroom. Like, it's crazy. You have to have a little thing. And then you have to use your room key for all of your purchases on board the ship and at Disney's Private Island Castaway Cay. Now, let me know. I will do a poll if you guys, let me know if you guys want me to do a video on Castaway Cay, an entire episode on that. I decided not to include it in this because I thought I would have a lot to talk about here because I'm not done talking yet. I can do an entire video on that because Castaway Cay, you may or may not go to on your ship, and this is kind of a general thing that you'll need to know this episode for all ships with a little hint of my experience. And then Castaway Cay, not all ships go to Castaway Cay, only the ones that port out of not Miami and Port Canaveral, really, which is the Disney Wish and the Disney Dream, I believe, currently. I don't know if it's still the Disney Dream, but we shall see. So there's that. So your room key is like your need. You can purchase with a credit card at the gift shops on board the ship, but you can also charge your room. But for all of your alcoholic drinks, any other purchases you make, you're charging your room key. So keep track of your purchases. You can find them on the Disney Cruise Line app as well as your stateroom's TV. The stateroom TV is also a great thing. It has all kinds of helpful guides to you. I've also seen a little tip that I'll give you later. So yeah, lots of fun activities, lots of fun things to do. Like I said, the shops are only open when you're at sea. Yes, I believe they're open on your day at sea. Yeah. So some of the fun things I bought on this cruise were related to the cruise, of course, but also souvenir cups. I don't know if you guys know this, but there's lots of great souvenir cups. Now, these vary from ship, but these are just the ones that I bought on my ship, on my cruise. So let me find them. I know I'm going to do a video on Castaway Cay, but this is a cup I bought at Castaway Cay. This is the tiki one. They also have a coconut one, but I like the tiki one better. It's just collecting dust up there. This is a really fun one, and it says Disney Cruise Line. It's really great. I have an entire haul of everything I bought on my Disney cruise that I can link for you guys. Another one I got is this Crush cup. He is so fun. Little hole right here for a straw. I got this at the Animator's Palette restaurant on board my cruise, so I assume if they have an Animator's Palette, this might be an option for you. I didn't get all the cups on board the cruise that you could get. There was one for Pirate Night, because they had a Pirate Night on our cruise, and I could imagine there's also exclusive ones for Pixar Day at Sea, if you're on one of those, but I didn't go to that. But this is a fun one. It's really fun. I've never used it again. I've used that one, and I've used the other one I'm going to show you in a minute, but I've never used this one because it's so interesting, fun shaped. We'll talk more about Pirate Night in a minute, but another fun souvenir you get is a literal bandana that says Pirates of the Caribbean on it. It's upside down. And it's got a little Mickey who's dressed like a pirate. The final cup I got was this one. This is like just like a Disney Cruise Line cup. It is dirty. I need to clean it. I don't know why it's dirty. It's just been sitting on a shelf, but it is a super fun one, super fun cup. I love that cup. It is super great. If you are just listening to this podcast and you're not watching, you're gonna have to go find the video version to watch what I just showed you guys. But those are super fun, super cute cups, and I love souvenir cups. I'm a souvenir cup gal, and I always want a souvenir cup. So I was really ecstatic that they had fun cups, and they weren't super high priced. They were like $12 to $14 per cup, which normally souvenir cups at Disney to me are like 30 or 20 maybe. So that was really nice. I don't know about the other cruises. Okay. So on board a Disney cruise, you can also find exclusive Disney Broadway quality shows. These are really great. Now, they have 2 different times for these, and the time that you go to is based off of your dinner pick. If you have the later dinner, you get the earlier show. If you have the early dinner, you have the later show. And so, obviously, this is so that you have enough time to get from dinner to the show. There's always plenty of time to get from show to dinner for the first one, but I don't know about the second one. But I have seen the little tip that I talked about earlier is that from the Braun family, Jessica Braun was having to deal with her was in her room because she was tending to her infant, and she was able to watch the show on her TV in the stateroom, which I think is really nice if you're incapable of making it, or maybe you just don't feel comfortable in spaces. These are super great shows. These vary by the ship, so I'm not going to really go into detail of which shows that they have because, like I said, they vary. You might get Frozen, you might get Little Mermaid, you might get Beauty and the Beast. It really depends on the ship. Now, I've been on the Disney Dream, so I did get Beauty and the Beast, and they had one called the Golden Mickeys, which was super cute, and they had another one. I really liked it, but I forgot what it was called. I think it was Believe. I think it's called Disney's Believe, and it was really cute and really fun. I loved these shows. They have amazing actors, amazing crew, great fun on these shows. Now, we sat upstairs the first night, then the rest of the nights we sat downstairs. If you sit downstairs, there are waiters that will come up to you and they'll fill up your popcorn bucket. You just give them your room key to charge, and so that you can get your popcorn and you don't have to like wait in the long line. And that's always really fun. They have regular popcorn buckets like you see in the parks, but a different pattern. And then they had, on our ship, they had a Simba one. They might have different ones on different ships. I don't know. But that is a fun option that they have. Now, of course, the pool deck itself is a great deck. There's mini golf, there's the kids club, the teen clubs. Oh, I didn't talk about the teen clubs. Let me talk about the teen clubs. So they have the ones, the Oceaneer Club and the Oceaneer Lab. They also have Vibe and Edge, and those are for ages 11 to 14 and 14 to 17. There are two different clubs. They have different options for those. If you want to know more about those, book a trip. And I'll let you know if it's necessary. I don't know anything about those, so I have to do the personal research on those, but those are other clubs offered. So yes, they have clubs for ages up to 17, and then if you're 18 and up, you are allowed to go in the adult exclusive areas, like the adult exclusive pool. So not only do they have the main pool deck, they have the adult area. So in the main pool deck, they have two pools. They have a deeper one that you can swim like deep down in, and they have a more shallow one. Of course, chairs all around. They have little places you can get food near the pools. Usually it's different based off the ship. They have a splash pad area and they have a little slide, and of course they have the aqua duck, or whatever it's called on other ships. I've seen one, it's like the aqua mouse, different names, different things, but they're really fun. And this is a water coaster on board the ship, by the way. That is super fun. I highly recommend it if you're able to do that. Some ships it might be cold, like the Alaska ones, so you know, don't go on the water. It's probably not going to be open. Don't go on the water slide if it's cold, please. But yeah, they have lots of great things on the pool deck, but then they also have the adult exclusive area, and that has like a swim up pool bar and more bars upstairs, a little adult pool, so you don't have to be near all the kiddos all the time if you're not in the mood for that. Yeah, and it's right near the spa. Like the doors take you right to the spa on that end of the ship. And this is the opposite end of Cabanas, which Cabanas is the buffet on board the ship. That's one of the dining places, because at the end, we're going to talk about food, because food is the best part, and we could talk about food forever. So let's talk about food. So Cabanas is the buffet on board the ship. Now, when I went on it, they did not offer any food at Cabanas for dinner. I don't know if that's still the same. I believe it's probably not. I believe they do this so that they keep you at the rotational dining, which I'll talk about in a minute. But they do offer breakfast and lunch here, and it's just longer of a span of time than the other places on board. They have like a quick counter service location, usually by the pool. They have drink stations also by the pool, because the fun thing about the Disney cruises is that your Coca-Cola beverages are included in your price. You don't have to pay extra for those like you do on Carnival. So if you have kids that really like those, this is the greatest hack. Bring a cup or buy a souvenir cup like I did. You kind of want to bring a cup though, so it fits in your cup holder at the movie, at the show that night, because that's going to be annoying. Because that was the annoying thing that I had every night, was my cup didn't fit in the cup holder, because none of the souvenir cups fit in the cup holder. Not even the Disney Tiki Torch one. No, does not fit. Those are very small cup holders. I always had to put my cup on the ground, and I wasn't happy about it because, you know, gotta reach. But yeah, they have lots of great drink options at the drink stations. The Coca-Cola beverages, they have tea, they have coffee, they have hot cocoa. Great options. Highly recommend it for movie nights or all day. You can also go into cabanas, usually during the day as well, if there's a long line. There's 2 stations. And then that's all on the pool deck. There are bars scattered throughout the ship as well, mainly near the club areas, but there are like a few near the pool. There's one in the lobby, I think. But there's bars scattered around the ships. Those can vary based off of the ship. So I'm not going to go into too much detail, but they're bars. Some of these bars have happy hour too, just so you know, because Disney does not offer drink packages for its cruise like Carnival does, and I kind of appreciate that. A lot of people like to give it grief because they're like, I would never go on a Disney cruise without a drink package. I would, because A, Disney has $5 drinks of the day, and B, they have happy hours so that you're getting your drink half off. But C, the real factor is you don't need to drink 15 drinks a day, every day, just to meet whatever price you paid for your drink package. Now, if you got a free drink package and you just want to drink a little bit, that's great. But like, if you're on a Disney cruise, you're doing activities, you're having fun, you shouldn't be drinking so much anyway. To me, you're surrounded by kids because it's a family-friendly cruise. Like, I don't see the appeal of drinking unless you're on an adult-only cruise and you want to have some fun. And the cruise I would recommend for that is Virgin Voyages, because their drink package is that you have a bar tab that you fill with the amount that you want to fill it with, that you can use for drinks at their private island and on board their ship, so you don't have to spend X amount of money every day to meet your quota for what you paid for your drink package. You can just put on, like, if you just want to do $60 for your whole cruise, you know, 4-day cruise, just spend $60. And you can get other drinks besides alcoholic drinks as well with that are not included in your cruise. And that's a great option. I can book, I can't book Virgin Voyages. I will get there. But yeah, I could book your Disney cruise. What else? So anyway, the final thing to talk about with the dining is the rotational dining. Now, there are about 3 of these options on board, and they rotate you through these options with the same waitstaff every night. Now, these options on board also do serve breakfast and lunch. They're just during select times. We managed to make it to breakfast one day at one of these, other than the last day, because the last day, your departure day, that you do get to have breakfast there before you leave. And it's like pretty much the only way you can get breakfast. So like everybody's gonna be there with their suitcases if they didn't check their bags. So have fun. It was an experience. But yeah, we did one day make it, and I liked the breakfast so much more at these places. I just can't always handle buffet food. I need it to be fresh. They'll make it fresh for you, which is great, but like it kind of defeats the purpose of it being a buffet. So I liked the plating style too. They make it look pretty. I'll insert a picture over here. They make it look pretty, and it's really fun, and I really loved eating breakfast here, and I liked eating lunch at the Flo's Cafe on the Disney Dream by the pool. That's the counter service up there. There are different ones for different chips, so I think one's like Pinocchio's or something. So it depends, but I like the Flo's Cafe. I got like a burger and fries one day. It was nice. They have hot dogs, sandwiches, pizza, like options. And the final option for getting food is room service. Now, it is included in your costs, but you do still probably should tip, because even though gratuity is included, room service isn't really something that there might be some kind of fee. There's probably like a delivery fee. I don't know. I didn't order room service, but it's stated to be included. And the time I would do room service is for breakfast, because in your stateroom, if you open up the desk drawer, there are these hangers that go on the door, and you can basically get like coffee and continental style breakfast options that they'll deliver to your door, and you can pick what time you want it delivered to your room. And I think this is just a great option if you're one of those people that just wants your coffee like in the morning and you don't want to have to fuss with going down to Cabanas or to one of the other places. Maybe you're an earlier person, you're an early riser. Maybe you need your coffee like right away, whatever. Completely up to you. Yeah, but Disney cruises are really fun. They do different animal towels every night. They did a fun one for Pirate Night for us. We did Pirate Night on board our ship, so just to talk about Pirate Night for a minute, they have fun activities for that as well. There was like a little show thing, game thing that I saw. There's exclusive shows on the deck, on the pool deck, that they have with Captain Jack Sparrow even. And they have fireworks at sea, and they have a nighttime like dessert party at the Cabanas buffet, including crepes that I just had to mention. Now this is only select ships have Pirate Night. Most of them have Pirate Night. I think most Disney cruises have Pirate Night. It's more likely that you'll find a different option if you are on a longer cruise, like 7 days, I think. Because they do have Pixar Days at Sea on some of the cruises, and those are fun. Those are super cool. Bethany Vinton on Instagram just went and had a Pixar Day at Sea, and it was really cute and really fun. They have characters, meet and greets out for that and all kind of stuff. They have characters on all the ships. I did not mention that in the blog post, and I'm sorry, but I'll go at it. But there are characters on all the ships that you can meet, but you guys, the lines for these are insane, usually. We only met like one character on board our ship because like we just walked right up and it was Daisy and she was there and there was like no line, but like every time we saw characters like that we really wanted to meet, there was a line. If you go at certain times of year, like Halloween, they are like dressed up in costume, which I think is super cute and super fun. We went August, so it wasn't super themey, but it was fun. And I had so much fun on my cruise that I went on in Disney Dream. And yeah, like I said, Pirate Night, you get this little fun bandana. It's super cute. Yeah, I highly, 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 highly recommend going on at least one Disney cruise in your life. I personally want to go on every single Disney cruise ship, and that's a goal I have. I don't know how I'm gonna meet it, but it's a goal I have. And so I might try to talk my mom into our next Disney vacation being a Disney cruise. Not Disney World, because we just went to Disney World and Disneyland last year. I want to go on a Disney cruise because I've never been on but one. And they port right out of New Orleans, which isn't as far from my house. It's far, but it's not like as far as like going to Miami for us, because Miami we had to fly, whereas New Orleans we could drive because it's not more than an hour, and that's really great. So yeah, thanks for watching or listening, depending on where you're listening to this at. And I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and don't forget I am a travel agent and I can book these trips for you. I'm not just giving you all this information just for fun. Like, you can book your trips with me. You might be listening because you booked a trip with me and I told you to come listen to this episode. So if you are, hi, thanks for doing that. But yeah, I'm really, really excited to keep going on my Magical Memories guide with you guys, and that I managed to think of something to talk about for this week's episode, because I don't even know what I would have done last week if I did one, I'm gonna be honest. It's not because there's not any ideas. There's a million things I could talk about. It's just because I just can't think sometimes. But anyway, thanks for listening and subscribing and following along to the podcast. And I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And I'll see you guys next week for the next one. And please let me know if you guys want an episode on Castaway Cay, because I will do it next week, because then I'll have an episode to do. Bye.